Hi friends and friendly subscribers, welcome back to my channel. This is Inner Hill Tarot, and today we're going to do unboxing and silent flip through and also hot takes. Woo, hot takes for this new Swagatam Tarot by Pankuri Agarwal. Yeah, I hope I don't butcher his or her name. The artist who create this deck. Okay, so if you also new to my channel, welcome. And if you're come into my channel to see what I'm doing, what kind of video that I'm making, thank you so much for coming back. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, share, and comments in my videos. That will really help me to continue my journey in this channel and keep on giving you the kind of video like this. If you like it, please don't forget. Okay, so this Swagatam Tarot is very interesting to me, and I was looking to bought it since last year actually, because this is like a tarot deck that comes from the Indian point of view, I think. And yeah, let's just see what does it has to say in the introduction. Okay, welcome to Swagatam Tarot. The word Swagatam itself means welcome, so welcome to Welcome Tarot. This tarot deck is based on Indian culture combined with the philosophies of Hinduism. So this deck has like 92 cards instead of 78 cards, because it has additional elements, I believe, that adding made the whole deck have like 92 cards. Let's check out the chunky and meaty guidebook first. So it comes from Red Feather Publisher. So beautiful. Oh, it has like a mantra as well. Oh, it's so nice. So it has major and minor. So it has an extra suit. It's the suit of smoke, representing the element of ether. And as we are in Aquarius time right now, of course the element of ether is very prominent for us right now to connect to. And if you saw my previous videos about the reviews with the higher beings, the galactic beings, this is what I meant with the ether. And also the Untamed Elemental Oracle that I've been doing in the silent flip through, it's all connected with the ether. So the ether elements is, for me, it's not just smoke, of course, but it's also like the phenomena in the air. For example, if we're feeling a certain breeze or a certain wind, it's also a manifestation of not just what's going on in the mental area, but also like the element area, so I'm really excited about this. Oh, it's so nice. Such a nice deck that arrived. It's literally just arrived 5 minutes ago. That's how I keen about this deck. Okay. Oops. Yeah, but this is not really good with the box. Anyway, it happens. So yeah, let's start this silent flip through. So beautiful, no? Okay guys, let's enjoy the silent flip through. All right. Oops. Sorry. Okay, guys, we just finished the silent flip through of the Swagatam Welcome Tarot. And what do I feel about this chunky, really chunky deck of cards that I really love and I appreciate? Yeah, I think that this deck in general is very interesting because it has a keyword as well, and the keyword is really have English, both English and Sanskrit name. So it's to me this deck is like an ambassador to ancient, both ancient and contemporary Indian culture style that also still have a lot of incorporate Sanskrit words within the culture, not just like the national Indian language. Sorry, my cat is just like coming in and out, so I'm kind of fixated, sorry. So yeah, it's very interesting to me, but I don't think all of the words or what do you call it, or the objects or flowers or things that depicted here really saying about the exact match with the regular tarot and archetypes that we use. Basically, that's what I'm about to say. But it's very interesting point of view, and as you know, if you've been in my channel long enough, I always look for tarot decks that can bring me to a new point of view, a new way of seeing a certain archetype. For example, like this card soul, it's basically, it is Atma, soul in here, right? It's yeah, it's very it's correct. It's not correct, what I mean is like it's in line with our understanding or regular tarot understanding in the West, I guess. And yeah, like the magician with Maya, illusion, it's also, well, the magician is someone who can create the illusion that they want, right? What is life actually? Life is a illusion. It's a certain patterns that going on within our life. Some are, we like someone, we don't like someone, some are inherited from our parents, our caregivers, that we adopted aspect of it in our life. We recreated it, but most of the time we're not conscious of them, right? Of these patterns. And the magician is with the Maya and illusion here are depicting as someone who's always conscious on what they're doing. Not always, but most of the time. So whenever things doesn't go according to their need or their creation, they go back within and they check out what kind of elements that missing here. So that is the, yeah, that is the depiction of the magician, which is really true in here. Is with the Maya and illusion, he's the master in creating illusion that he wants to believe within him, right? With the high priestess and the cheetah, mind and heart, it's also really nice. I think most of the time the one that depicted in the major arcana is really what, how do you call it? It's really not correct, but it's really aligned with what the regular tarot could be. But for example, this tarot deck doesn't have the Emperor, from the Empress to go straight to the Hierophant and Lovers. So that is also very interesting because it's kind of saying that the Empress and Emperor is actually inside one card, which is the Aham, ego. The ego doesn't Yeah, the ego, hold on. No, that's true. The ego doesn't, well, the ego doesn't have a gender actually, because as we see in Carl Jung, for example, he believes that our conscious mind, or our ego, let's say, it has a animus and anima, right? Animus is the projected ego that or personality that we want other people to see about us, and the anima is the soul, is the hidden part. So it's also reflected in here as the Empress only card without the Emperor. It's very interesting way of seeing it. And the Hierophant as the niyam or rules, it's basically it's also niyam is a social rules actually, and it's also connected with the yoga world. Basically, in yoga in the West, where if we want to learn yoga, we go straight to the number 3 of the tenets of yoga, which is asana. Asana is a yoga movements actually, but yeah, yoga movements in itself, and it's not the whole landscape of yoga. Okay, so before asana we have 2 rules, 2 tenets, 2 bullet points to say that normally we needed to learn before we go straight to the physical movements. Those two bullet points are yama and niyam. Basically, it's called yam and niyam. Yam is how to conduct ourselves within ourselves, how to conduct our feeling within ourselves, and niyam is more like a social rules, you know. So it's like in Christianity, like love your neighbor. If you got a smack in the face, give the other cheek, things like this. So it's more like a social rules. And in here niyamas rules in the Hierophant is it's kind of it's kind of not, I don't want to say correct. And the words that keep coming into my mind is correct. It's really weird. Yeah, I don't want to channel right now, please, my spirit guides. So yeah, for me it feels like it's in line, it's more like in line with what we believe, or sometimes we channel in a regular tarot deck, which is like a rule, right? And the Hierophant most of the time in like in Rider Waite Smith is the Pope. The Pope is the one who gives the social rules, not that long ago, really, until like few hundred years ago, right? So yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, lovers with moha, I really don't want to talk about it right now. It's a different ball game altogether. With the Sanskrit name and depiction, it's yeah, it's interesting. And the Chariot with the Brahmacharya is also very interesting for me, because and it's giving a clue to me that this is like more like a tarot deck instead of a Rider Waite Smith, because a lot of times in the Rider Waite Smith, the chariot is depicted as someone who on the move on the chariot with the 2 horses, one black, one white, meaning that that person is in charge with their life and go towards life with the wholesome and the understanding of the shadow and the light within the personality. But with this chariot, with the Brahmacharya and celibacy, it's more like a thought understanding, and also Golden Dawn. I think it's more like the inner working within oneself, you know, the understanding of the shadow and the light. So it's more, to me, it's like the movement of this chariot movement, it's within oneself, the understanding of the shadow. So it's, to me, the Thoth and the Golden Dawn tarot, please correct me if I'm wrong, the chariot archetype, it's more like a movements, in the understanding in oneself. But in the Raider White Smith, it's more like the outward action, like when this celibacy, when this brahmacharya period is over and you have the more understanding of yourself, then you move charging forwards with the Raider White Smith. So yeah, it's a nice subtle clue, actually. It's beautiful. And yeah, with the hermit as well, with the sannyasi and the orange color, it's more like also the Buddhist monk, this Hindu sannyas that you can see, the sadhus that you can see in the bank of the Ganga river in Rishikesh, or in other cities in the Bengal area as well, in Kashi. They are someone who's renounced the world, and yeah, they live with a begging bowl if they're like in line with the Buddhist tradition. So yeah, it's they are like a hermit. They're not necessarily hermits in like in a hermit card. A lot of times we're depicting it as a alone time period, and to make a reflection of ourself. The hermit as sannyas here is more like someone who just, not about give up, but someone who's just like provides service, provides service to their social communities around them, actually. So the sannyas is not necessarily someone who just inside themselves and try to figure out what's going on within themselves. So that's the difference between the hermit's understanding here and the Raider White Smith. Yeah, let's start with this too. I think because there is so many in the minor cards, I will just talk about the my feeling, because this is starting to become a little bit of a review as well. I'm too excited, guys, because it's exciting to me to see the Sanskrit word pairing up with the archetype in tarot, basically. So let's do this, the last ones, and then I go to the minor arcana, okay? So the Wheel of Fortune and Justice. Okay, this is very, very interesting, because as justice is called this karma, action and consequences, and the Wheel of Fortune as bog. This is actually, it's not baga as well. It's sometimes in, at least in the North India, we call it bog. What is bog? Is like bog is something that's we deserve it, bug is something that because we did something in the past as well. So it's uh, i kind of I kind of find out in recent tarot deck, a lot of tarot decks called the Wheel of Fortune is like not the destiny anymore or actual fate. Bog is not really fate, actually, but it's more like almost more like karma. It's an active participation in creating your Wheel of Fortune. There's a lot of it, I feel, in a recent Wheel of Fortune depictions in the tarot deck, and this is one of them. It's like bog is like something that you created in the karma and create a justice, but also you create your luck, and of course it's also it's a blessing from the universe. What you give, you will receive. So if you give a lot of good action, if you give a lot of good karma, most of the time, not always, you get a nice consequences. And when you get a really good consequences, this is when it's the Wheel of Fortune bog. Bog, it's not bog, okay? It's not like the loo. The loo is shit. But bog is more like something that's yeah, like a blessing, basically. But more than that, it's more like an active participation, not anticipated, uh basically bug is like not anticipated great results, if it makes sense. So yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so let's go to the minor arcana before I do the whole deck situations, which is, yeah, that is going to be 2 hours long if I do all the cards. So yeah, when I see the minor arcana, that's when I have the ideas and the feelings that this deck really have the feeling of it's like a ambassador of what is it life in an India looks like culturally, you know. It's a cultural ambassador. So for example, let's get this ace of smoke, because this is the additional elements that it's not incorporated in well, most, let's say most, because I don't know, I haven't seen all the single thing of tarot, right? Most tarot decks. So for example, in the ace area, we're starting with the mudra, you know. So it Akash mudra is a ether mudra. How to incorporate um the Akash, the ether power within oneself, basically in meditation. Mudra is the fastest way to change how your what you call it, how's your not immune system, but like parasympathetic system, which is like rules the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn in when you encounter a conflict. So with the mudra, is really good in control it immediately, you know. And of course, it's not just the mudra, but also with the breathing process. That all encapsulated in the yoga practice, actually, together with the meditation, with the mudra, and with the breathing. You kind of become the magician this way, right? Your control, how you respond to the situation that probably is not very comfortable for you at any given time. So for example, this is like a really, with the three of smoke, for example, tikta with pitta, it's giving you this taste, but also the plants that rule this tree of smoke elements, and also with the saffron, for example. And a lot of the Sanskrit name also I don't know, actually, and I need to learn as well myself. For example, like this Fiskanya, what is that? I need to read the guidebook, you know. For example, the six of smoke with holy, it's very beautiful because it gives you this ethereality of and put it in matter, right? Because Holi is a festival where you put colors onto each other, and yeah, there's an ethereality in that. It's like a sakura zenzen, like a sakura hanami period, or momiji, you know. It's ethereal. It's the ether, right? The essence. Like when you see the sakura flowers blooming and falling down, it's not the falling down of the flowers itself that give you a certain feelings, but yeah, but it's the reality. It's the like the holy also, when the color is go, you know, from your hands to the air. That's the feeling of it, and it's very beautiful depiction of it, you know, the feeling of the ether. Yeah. So seven of smokes with ocean and beaches. Of course, I don't understand about this archetype that depicted here. I have to read the guidebook, but it's all very exciting for me. Like the eight of smoke, for example, with neem oil, with soap. It's it's harming it's harming the some certain bugs in house plants. If you don't want to use pesticide, you use neem oil and washing this uh, washing washing liquid for your dish and warm water. So it's also again giving you the sense of ethereality of like certain plants that can be like helping you in managing the bugs problems, things like this. It's, yeah, for me, like the jasmine as well. how do you how do you get the jasmine smell in a perfume, you know? So yeah, this is very ethereal. Ah, it's so beautiful. Like Vina with the Night of Smoke. It's someone with the sitar, you know? It's the feeling of beautiful music. So beautiful with the Queen of Smoke, with the peacock. It's the ethereality of the peacock. If you've been to India and North India in around the what do you call again, around the Rishikesh, there is a sanctuary area, and they have like a peacocks still, like wild peacocks. And in the morning, if you went there in the dry time, in the summertime, right before the monsoon, and if you go there in the morning, sometimes you can still see bull elephants actually, and also you can see the peacocks flying, and they're like have a magnificent sound. It's like leon leon, like this. And in the morning, and you see the majestic of the peacock, because they can fly with with this with this heavy tail. They can fly actually, and it's, yeah, it's just the ethereal feelings. And yeah, this deck is really awesome. And with the Anandamaya Kosha, Anandamaya with the King of Smoke, it's Anandamaya is the sheath of bliss in yoga. It means that it's also represented with the peacock tail. It's the opening of the crown chakra as well. Oh, it's so beautiful. I think I'm falling in love with this deck already. You can tell from my sound, my voice, right? So basically that is my hot takes of this deck. And like again, if you're already been to my channel time and time again, please consider to subscribe, share and comment this video with your friends. Especially your yogi friends would really love this deck, I think, just like me. And also don't forget to check out my bio. You can see my eBay store there. Jar tip me in my PayPal, and yeah, that can also help me contribute to keep going with this channel. But above all, thank you so much for your time to watch this video with me. And I really appreciate your energy. Thank you so much for the subscribe, share and comments. I really appreciate every one of you that watched this video. Please have a good day and night anytime you stumble upon this one, and see you in the next video, guys. Thank you, friends and friendly subscribers. Bye.